Hey, yo, happy Thursday, y'all. And I don't even get to say that too often because I never go live on Thursdays for real. But today just ain't any other Thursday. This is Her Rules Thursday, episode 62, and we had to go live. Why? Why we got to go live, Naj? Because tonight we have not one, not two, but three pivotal SEC matchups tonight. First up, we got Oklahoma versus Georgia at 6:30. You feel me? We got South Carolina versus Alabama at 8:30. And then right a little bit after that, we got LSU versus Ole Miss at 9 o'clock. So all these three games happening on the same night, y'all. And we had to pull up. We got to talk about our predictions. Okay. We got to figure out how the outcomes or the potential outcomes of these three SEC games can shift what's happening in the top 15, okay, of the AP poll. Plus, we got the top 16, the reveal just a couple days ago. And how many SEC teams was in that top 16? 10, right? 6 of those teams are playing tonight. Well, not 6 because Alabama and Georgia are not top 16 teams. However, this is another episode of Her Rules, man. We about to turn all the way up on this fine Thursday. So welcome back to the realest women's basketball breakdown on the net. Y'all know each and every episode is powered by none other than Free Your Lens. Give it up for Free Your Lens, a lifestyle brand encouraging dope people like you to do all things with purpose and attention. Y'all, we on the road to 500 subscribers. So while you here, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, man. Get into the comments, get into the live chat. Let me know how you feeling. Let me know what your team is, who you rocking with, especially on tonight, because we got some key games. Again, let's recap, y'all. At 6:30, we got Oklahoma and Georgia. Well, let's talk about that game right now. Oklahoma and Georgia. Okay, first and foremost, both of these two teams are ranked. Georgia just came off a great victory, right? Georgia just with Texas. Okay, so now what's gonna happen in tonight's game? Well, first and foremost, let's pull up the game cast and let's kind of talk about it a little bit and let's do our little predictions early and often, right? Let's talk. Hold on, game cast. Let's go. All right, so bet. Here we go. At 6:30, we got Oklahoma and Georgia. This is a home game for Georgia. However, they're not slated to be the victor in this game. Okay, ESPN Analytics has Oklahoma 72%, 73% actually. More than likely gonna take this win. I don't really like the prediction just from ESPN, just from Vegas. I don't really like that. Have y'all been watching Georgia? Have y'all been watching Georgia? If y'all think that Oklahoma just gonna walk down in Georgia, they go. So Oklahoma Sooners gonna walk down on Georgia Bulldogs. That's what's gonna happen tonight. I don't think so. And let's talk about why. So first of all, they got some great leaders on both sides, right? You got Chavez and you got Carnegie on both sides. Both are phenomenal guards. Both know how to execute the offense. Both understand pacing. Both understand how to get other teammates involved. Both of them play great defense, right? The advantage to Oklahoma is that they also have Reagan Beers. Okay, so let's talk. Let's just start talking about rosters on both teams, and then we'll, go a little bit deeper in the predictions here as well. So they got Reagan Beers. Reagan Beers this season is averaging 16 and 10. Okay. Those are phenomenal numbers, especially in the SEC. SEC, y'all know, is a gauntlet, right? The SEC is a gauntlet. We went through the top 10 AP 25 poll on Monday, and we talked about how strong the SEC is. If only you just look at, if you only were looking at the top 25 teams, you're going to be like, SEC, damn, what's going on here? But the SEC been cooking, and they've been cooking all year round. Tonight, we got Oklahoma in Georgia, and I think the X factor in this game against Georgia, I'm just early. Y'all let me know who the X factors are early. Who y'all got? Okay, I think the X factor in this game is going to be Reagan Beers for me. Okay, I think what she does offensively and defensively, but how she can create spacing, with her post up, whether it's to the basket, whether it's back to the basket, her counter moves off the post, the back post, you feel me? What she can do in the post, I don't think Georgia has a counter for that. I don't think if Reagan don't get 22, 23 points a day, I don't know what we doing. That's just me. That's just me and my house. I think Reagan is going to be able to show out against Georgia. Let's talk about their record a little bit. Oklahoma is their ranked number 11 in the top AP top 25 poll. They've had a up and down season, as y'all know. Let's look at I'm looking at Reagan specifically, but let me go back just to Oklahoma. And I want to look at their schedule. They've had an up and down season. So as y'all know, Oklahoma started off hot as hell. Hot. Look at this. When they was out of conference at the top of the season, oh, they was cooking. Who was this? Okay, yeah, they lost to UCLA, right? Out of conference, but major team. Top 4 team. Number 1 seed team. So UCLA, we know they ain't no slouches. So Oklahoma had boom, boom, win, loss, win, 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 win. Then they get back to their own conference, okay? Where the competition starts to creep back up, and it was 3 L's in a row to Ole Miss, Kentucky, and LSU. Now, this is around the time where they started the season off ranked 5, right? They was top 5, okay, in the AP poll. They caught them 3 L's back to back. Boop, boop, boop. And here we are, right? Bing, bop. Y'all know our boy Kendrick. I love when he do that. Bing, bop, boom, boom. I love that. Anywho, caught them 3 L's. Then look at these, though. Look at these fantastic wins they have under their belt. South Carolina in overtime, 94-82. Auburn, not the best team, obviously. Auburn, I'll be trying not to discredit teams, even though their records don't be that great. But Auburn, not the best team. But look, you still got to count that dub. Then Texas A&M, again, not the best team, blew them out, smoke show. But now when you start to get back to the competition, back to the top 10 teams, back to top 15, where the smoke really is, where the best team in the SEC reside, you lose. Texas, another back-to-back. Vandy, right? Then, okay, Florida's a tough team as well. Beat Florida, beat Alabama. Great, strong outputs, especially against Alabama. But here we are today against Georgia. And Georgia just had an incredible game, right? So now let's talk about Georgia. What does let's look at their schedule. Let's look at their ups and downs. I've been saying to y'all all season long, the SEC, we can't look at their record. We can't look at to see if they're ranked or not, to see if they're going to be one of them hitters. If you did not know, right, Georgia is new to the party as far as we talking about top 25. But if you just looked at this, you would say, well, hell, I don't see no big difference between Georgia 24 and Oklahoma 11. They started off great. Boom, 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 boom. Lost to Ole Miss. Didn't that happen to Oklahoma? Started off great, lose to Ole Miss. South Carolina, right? Or Texas, I'm sorry. Then Vanderbilt. You know what I mean? So then, okay, yeah, you bounce back. Same thing with Georgia. You lose to Ole Miss, bounce back to Texas A&M, but then lose to LSU and South Carolina. Oklahoma did the same exact thing, right? And then you try to get back on a good foot. Look at this. Arkansas, okay, Arkansas is a tough team. They ain't trash, but, you got to play them. You got Arkansas, you got Kentucky that's had some up and downs. They've had some injuries, and they've had some in and out of their lineups, rotation changes, and things like that. Okay? So you get some good wins and you lose. You do vindicate yourself with a win against Ole Miss. So you split that. You lose to them, and then you beat them, right? But then the consistency shifts. Tough loss against Alabama, got blew out. Tough loss against Tennessee. That was a bounce back game for Tennessee because Tennessee been going down too as far as in the win column. Bounce back against Missouri. Lose to Mississippi State. Blew out Mississippi State. Yeah, that shouldn't happen. And then you beat a tough Vanderbilt. And I think I said Texas earlier, but I meant to say Vanderbilt. You beat a tough Vanderbilt, and you technically shut down their leading scorer in Michaela Blakes. Now, yes, did she still put up the points? Yeah. but it ain't how she wanted to put up the points. You don't want to eat off the line. Now that's cool. It's like, okay, if I can't score, if I can't get my floaters off, I can't get my normal shots off, I got to do what I need to do for my team, period, right? That makes sense. But it changes the flow of the offense. It changes how you can get others in the game if you not scoring how you normally prefer to score. I would rather defensively put somebody on the line. I can stop the clock. I can control the pace. I can limit fast break points. I can do all of this. And then I can get my team set up. You feel me? I can keep my team set up on defense for real. That being said, I don't think it's fair for ESPN to have Oklahoma and Georgia so skewed like this. That's why I went down kind of painting the polarizing pictures between Oklahoma and Georgia. They are more alike than they're not. I think the biggest difference that they have in this game is Reagan Beers. I think she is the X factor. Okay. Shout out to Pharaoh. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I think Georgia's best chance of beating Oklahoma is getting Reagan Beers in foul trouble. See? I say Reagan Beers is the X factor for Oklahoma to win. You saying if Georgia wins, Reagan Beers better not be on the court. Because if she on the court, more than likely she gonna be able to get whatever she want off. Also, their talented point guard and Aaliyah Chavez in foul trouble. There we go. There we go. You got certain people you can't dictate offensively unless you have that level of defender on your end in both positions. I like Danny Carnegie, right? I think she's a great defender. I think that she's the type of person that would do whatever is possible to keep you out of your comfort zone on the offensive side. Okay. So that being said, I think that Aaliyah, not to say that Danny Carnegie is going to neutralize Aaliyah, but I think that's going to be something that both of their outputs are going to kind of like counter each other. I think that Aaliyah and Danny are both going to have good games, right? And I think that with that being said, that's going to offset each other. But Beers, ain't nobody over there in Georgia that can do what Beers can do, or that can limit what Beers can do offensively. Plus, you can't double her because now you're getting too many people out, too many people open, and too many people involved in the offense if you double her. So I think what Pharaoh is saying is exactly right. You got to potentially get her in foul trouble. Now, how do you do that? Offense and flow and motion is the name of the game. Get her in pick and roll and get them feet moving. What's our boy the boy on ESPN? Move them puppies. Okay, Kendrick Perkins. You got to move those puppies. You're going to have to make Reagan move. You're going to have to make her try to cover and help a guard out because their guard just got beat. And if that happens, then what Pharaoh was saying, getting Reagan Beers in foul trouble, can absolutely happen. Oklahoma is the second best rebounded team in the conference and the fastest pace in the country. Pharaoh always got the stats for me. I appreciate you, bro. Every single time, bro. Every episode got the stats. Come on, man. So maybe that's why ESPN is saying, we got Oklahoma. We don't think that Georgia is going to be able to score enough at a quick enough pace, right? We don't think that they can be out rebound or even be competitive on the glass with the second best rebounding team in the SEC. Georgia needs their best player to have the performance she had against Vandy. Absolutely. Carnegie got to go off today. And so for Georgia, who's the X factor for Georgia? Carnegie. Simple and plain. I mean, she's leading them in usually in most games, points and assists, right? So she has to show up and show out and be incredible today just for them to have a chance of winning. She has to. There's no other way around that. But look though, y'all. How will that affect your the standings. How would that affect the standings? Let's play with it. If Georgia wins, okay, Georgia is ranked 24. Let's go to the day on the last slide. If shout out to them. If Georgia is 24, and again, they just got to the party. They just got here, right? They jumped 4 spots up. Well, who cares if you jump 4 spots up? Hell, you wasn't even in the picture, but you here now. Welcome. They jumped 4 spots up. If they lose this game to 11th ranked Oklahoma, Georgia's out of here. Georgia was on my mind. Now Georgia is in this last little line right around here with Rhode Island and Washington and Princeton. It's like, oh, you just got bounced out. So for Georgia to remain in the top 25, they got to get this dub. It's not even a question about what's happening. They need this win. Oklahoma doesn't truly need the win for the top 25, but it could affect their positioning in the top 16. It could affect their positioning in the top 16, right? So we did the reveal on Monday together collectively, her rules family. Oklahoma is the last team in that top 16. The critical point of making that top 16 is that these teams would have home court advantage in the first and second rounds of the tourney. So if Oklahoma loses this game, their issue is not being dropped from 11th seed in the top 25. It's going to be that they are now dropped out of the top 16 in to protect home court in the first 2 rounds. That's the difference here. So they're playing for 2 different things. One team is playing to move further up the top 25 in Georgia, right? And another team is playing to stay in the top 16 of that home court advantage for March Madness. It's a lot at stake here. The bracketology, y'all, don't put no money on no games in March Madness. Everything gonna get busted. I'm gonna try to tell you that right now. Save your money, maybe do a parlay or something, but don't say, okay, I got this team winning. It's not tonight gonna show us. We're gonna have an upset tonight. We got 3 big games tonight in the SEC alone. I haven't even talked about. We got ACC games at 7:00. We got ranked. Thursday night is always brutal. Always brutal. So welcome to the function. Let me get to this comment. Georgia Bulldogs can play upset with Oklahoma Sooners. I got Georgia tonight. I think Georgia, first of all, what I seen Georgia do to Vandy, they can beat anybody. They completely, so they told Vandy, y'all gonna have to do something else. Because all the shit y'all normally get off, it's not happening today. We're not letting you get none of that off. What y'all gonna do though? And then if Georgia can continue to have that intense defense the way they did with Vanderbilt and knock down buckets. See, Georgia's problem is sometimes they just don't knock down buckets. It's not how they approach the game. It's not how they prepare for the game. It's not the energy. It's not the lack of defense. Sometimes they don't knock down buckets, and also obviously getting beat on the glass. Both of those things are going to be critical tonight in this game. Oklahoma, I've been playing some okay basketball as of late. Oklahoma has been playing some okay basketball. They have been. So I can't say that, it's going to be a bloodbath, but I will say it's going to be a barn burner. I will say that this game can potentially go into an overtime game. I will say that if I had to put my money on any team, I think Georgia might do it because Georgia is on a different type of high. They just beat Vandy. They high is on something completely different. When you coming off a big win, it's easier to stack another big win. Like Farrell said, Georgia is one of them sleeper teams that have 3 top 25 wins already. Ole Miss, Kentucky, and Vandy, right? They all came at different points in the season too. So it wasn't like you got all them wins within 2 weeks. Nah, we got this win here, this win. So when you have that, you could be like, okay, we can figure out how to bounce back how to retool, how to take what we learned from one game and apply it to the next game. The key to this one is, can Georgia build off the win from Vandy? If they build off the win from Vandy and stack a Vandy win up with a top 11 win with Oklahoma, let's go back to the top 25. We might see um Georgia potentially, they beat Oklahoma tonight, who's 11th. We could potentially see Georgia make another 4 or 5 seed jump in the top 25 or rankings, right? I think, and it looks like everybody think, we got 3 for Georgia now. I do think Georgia can beat Sooners tonight. All right, let's go ahead and say it. I got tonight prediction show. I got Georgia tonight. That's exactly who I got tonight. Shout out to y'all. That's exactly who I have tonight for sure. Also tonight, X factors on both sides. Danny Carnegie is not just obvious because she's leading them and everything, but she's also, obviously leading them with in points. She's got 18.5 points a game. She is getting them 5.7 rebounds and 3.2 assists. She is scoring field goal percentage of 44, shooting 44% from the field. But look what she did against Vanderbilt, and this is why I'm bringing this up. Hold on, y'all. One more second. Hold on, y'all. My screens is doing something weird. Anyway, this is why I'm bringing up. If for Vanderbilt, look at the box score: 29 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists, 1 steal. Right? She shot 60% from the field, and she was 5 from 8 from 3. I know that because when we did the breakdown of that game, the upset, down goes Frazier with Vandy, okay, because that was an upset. When we did that breakdown, I said, now I watched the game, but when you're watching the game, sometimes you don't know how much somebody is cooking for real until you look at that box score and start reading that stat line. You like, damn, and I knew she was doing what she needed to do to secure a victory and have a mean upset, but I didn't know baby girl was cooking like that. Because sometimes the points, when you're not a super flashy scorer, when you get your points within the system, when you don't have to do a lot to score as well, when you coming off a screen, 1-2 dribble pull up, I'm taking what you give. Sometimes it don't look like you run it up like that, like you. But 29 points and 8 rebounds is some serious stuff. This is a guard. That's my thing. This is a guard. She's 5'9", and she's a sophomore. Hold on. I hope she stay at Georgia because this type of player is the type of player that be in the transfer portal for sure, with all the vacancies that's about to be in the SEC. Right, so I'm hoping that she stay with Georgia so she can be the face of Georgia basketball and not like chase hype. But we'll see. I'm just jumping a little bit, but we'll see. That being said, tonight prediction show, I got Georgia tonight over Oklahoma. My boy Pharaoh said I got Georgia by 5 over Oklahoma. I'm gonna tell y'all something. If y'all do bet, y'all need to listen to what Pharaoh say because he be right 90% of the time. For real. Most of his predictions come true. So Georgia by 5. I'm doing a little air math. I need to play the Jeopardy music. But I don't want no copyright strikes. Y'all know how that go. I definitely got Georgia winning today. I have a barn burner, right? I have a back and forth game. What Pharaoh said is that Oklahoma has the advantage when it comes to rebounding. So if they do win in rebounding, which will also include offensive rebounding, I think it is going to be a single-digit game. So anywhere between like 7 and 9, I think that's probably what it's going to be. As far as a victory for Georgia, about 7 points, 9 points, somewhere around there. But it's going to be a single digit victory. It's not going to be no blowout. It's not going to be 10 plus points. It's definitely going to be a single digit victory. And I think it's going to be a good game. So that's the first game up in the SEC tonight at 6:30, Oklahoma and Georgia. And we all have Georgia tonight. Okay. Now we do got some games that's about to start right now. My Hokies are about to play North Carolina. So Virginia Tech and North Carolina starts at 6 o'clock on ACC Nation. This is not SEC, so I'm just throwing it out there right now because the game about to start in a minute. Of course, I got my Hokies. They're coming off a great win. North Carolina's coming off a hard loss against Duke, and I think Virginia Tech need more respect. We 20-7. Ain't no reason why we shouldn't be ranked, but here we go. So I got Virginia Tech tonight in the ACC matchup. Let's go to our next SEC matchup. The game. It's two games that I really can't wait to watch. Right, South Carolina and Alabama. Let's talk about that. That's the next SEC game, and that game starts at 8:30. Okay, that game starts at 8:30. Oh, hold on. You said you got North Carolina. You got North Carolina tonight? I think. Well, the reality of it is they lost a hard, tough loss to Duke, right? A rivalry. And I think North Carolina has something to prove tonight against Virginia Tech. I'm just hoping and praying that my Virginia Tech Hokies have a little bit advantage. It's a home game, and they trying to really play to get ranked. So they got a lot to lose today. North Carolina don't really have that much. If they lose this game, they probably still top 25. They might lose a slot, but I think they'll still be top 25. Okay, so let's talk about South Carolina and Alabama. You say it's a toss up in ACC. It really is. I mean, I feel like a lot of these teams are tough. We thought Louisville was, the clear juggernaut, but when they lost to Duke, I said, well, damn, maybe not. You know what I mean? So you got Gamecocks about 20. Let's talk about it. All right, so we got the 20-6 Alabama hosting the 25-2 South Carolina. Okay. Matchup predictors, they're not being nice at all. They're not being kind at all. They're not saying Alabama has a chance at all. They gave them a little bit of love, under 10%, but they saying, okay, you know what, y'all, we not even gonna act like South Carolina. They not cooking on all cylinders. That they don't have. Do South Carolina? Let me ask y'all this: does South Carolina, outside of Sarah Strong and Ezzie Fudd, is Raven Johnson and Joyce Edwards the best guard big duo in the NCAA women's basketball? Raven and Joyce, are they the best duo? Big guard duo. We're going to find out. We're going to continue to find out. And I think that question is really going to be answered in March Madness for sure. But for right now, I think Raven Johnson and Joyce Edwards is a top 3 duo in the entire league, not just the conference, in the entire league. Gamecock locked in. They've been locked in since that heartbreaking loss to the Sooners. Yeah, they didn't like that loss to the Sooners, right? And you ask Dawn probably say, ain't no way in world we supposed to, you feel, Dawn from Ron away. She's like, ain't no way in world we supposed to lose that game. They did though. But they've been cooking ever since. The question was, is Joyce Edwards and Raven Johnson the best guard and big duo in the league? And if they're not the best, they got to be top 3. Farrell said, I think they are the best. I'm going to be the one to tell you, when the game is on the line, or if there is an adjustment that needs to be made in the game to shift the potential outcomes, like when South Carolina, sometimes when and it's not often because we haven't seen them pressured often, right? When we haven't seen them have to make critical adjustments in halftime, right? But we witnessed that in that last game when Tessa got removed. Right, she was cooking in the first half. I think she had like 16 points in the first half. Second half, she was they locked her up. Right, talking about face guard. Okay, who stepped up though? Raven Johnson. Now Raven Johnson's been the silent assassin this whole season, right? She been the one that might not get the same amount of press and the same amount of love and the same amount of coverage, but everybody on that South Carolina team know without Raven Johnson, this shit don't go. It don't. The car don't. The wheels don't roll. You know, Joyce Edwards, phenomenal athlete, phenomenal defender. I be seeing her flying on the court, hustling, phenomenal. But when you have that energy on defense and you pair this energy on defense with Raven Johnson, you got the point of attack at the ball with Raven all over you in your jersey, right? How they operate on a pick and roll. Joyce can switch. Joyce can hedge to get Raven some space and some time to get around it or get over it. Then you have a guard like Raven who can fight over the top of the screen, guard you full court without fouling. There are moments she kind of get in foul trouble. One of them games just recently, I don't think it was the last game, but she caught 2 fouls in the first quarter. Didn't get any more that have, but sometimes she can get a bit too aggressive, right? That's okay though. I love that aggression. Oh, you want to stop somebody so bad you grab that jersey a little bit? This is welcome here. Come on and do it. I like that Johnson and Johnson connection. I'm trying to tell you. I hope they play on the same level, on the same team on the next level for real. I really do. It's amazing that Joyce Edwards, sidebar, is as young as she is, right? Phenomenal. Who she is, where she is as a sophomore. But that just shows us that, again, the game is in good hands because we got a lot of cold sophomores. You feel me? Tessa Johnson is our best 3-point shooter on the team as far as shooting percentage go. Absolutely. And the fact that she's not just a set shooter. She's not just catch and shoot, let it go. She can get her own shot. I done seen her hit a couple people with the boop, boom, and a step back. Tessa really liked that. Raven really liked that. Now, here's the thing about Raven. Sometimes that's so Raven. Sometimes her 3-point shot, I just be wanting her to take one step in. I know your coach might be like, damn, well, if you that far out, you could just took one step back and hit the 3. Sometimes her shot a little flat, right? We done seen Raven Johnson airball 3s. Oof, that's not good. We done seen Bert. But when she hitting them, right? But is the 3-point ain't technically her game. You got to be honest because she is a great guard, right? And a phenomenal mind. However, for her, I be wanting her to just go and take that little pump fake. Go and put your body into him and get to the line, right? Put your body into him high. That's what's going to need to happen tonight. Because I'm telling you, on the other side of the court, they shooting over there. Okay? Their senior guard in Jessica Timmons in Alabama. Oh, she trying to score, right? She averaged 16 points, 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists. She's shooting 44% from the field. Oh, but she trying to score. Now, she doesn't have great outputs against South Carolina, right? Against South Carolina, usually she's right around 12 points a game, right? You know, assists, everything just goes down a little bit when they play South Carolina for her. Tonight is a game where it needs to be the opposite. If y'all want to have a chance of winning today, your girl Jessica got to be on. For sure she got to be on. But the thing about South Carolina is that they can draw a circle around your best player and absolutely remove her from the game. They can absolutely take her out of the game. And guess what? Dawn can do you one better. Take all your life. I'm going to stop. That's why you got to love Dawn. Because like I say all the time, Dawn don't get off on just beating you. She want to demoralize you. She want to embarrass you. She want to say, when I came in your house, right? Because this is a home game for Alabama. Y'all top 3 players, MIA. I took them all the way out. Who are their top 3 players? Let's talk about it. So you got Jessica Timmons. You also have, let me see. What's the old girl name? Weathers. And then you have Essence Cody. So you got some contribution from the entire team here collectively, but you only have 3 people that's giving you double digits. You got 2 more people right on their heels, but if you can neutralize Timmons and Cody, right? You wouldn't necessarily be too worried about whether where she brings in her damage is on the glass, right? Is defensively, okay? She's also a forward. She gonna have a time of her life on her hands trying to deal with Joyce and Okai. She gonna you can't check them both. You're gonna have to pick a struggle. And then if their guards again get loose, which I'm predicting South Carolina's guards will get loose today. Okay, Tessa's gonna be like, y'all not gonna stop me. Y'all can't stop me, right? So what's gonna happen? If the guards start to penetrate Alabama's perimeter defense, it's going to put more pressure on Alabama's bigs, and they don't have enough. They don't have the bigs, enough bigs where we can be like, okay, we can focus on Joyce, Okai, and y'all guards. Again, we got to pick a struggle, pick a side, pick a struggle. I got South Carolina gonna smash Alabama today. I mean, it just is what it is. I would love to see some of our role players play well today. Absolutely. Let's pull up the rosters of both teams, because in the last prediction for Oklahoma, I went from schedule to schedule, but they've only lost 2 games, right? So we don't really need to look at South Carolina losses for River. But we do need to look at their roster contribution and where's the balance, where are the potential threats, and who do you think may be able to get kind of like poked at on this team from Alabama. Now, Alabama can score for sure, but can they stop all that's what's happening with South Carolina? Again, I told you with Alabama, they got 3 people that's scoring in double digits. 3. With South Carolina, look at these numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got 5 people. All they starting 5 is giving you double digits in scoring. Alabama starting 5, they got 3 or 5 that's gonna give you something for sure, right? And one of the 3 of the 5, right? One of 3 don't really put them numbers up against South Carolina. So now what? Where is the offensive production going to come from on their end to keep up with the offensive production in South Carolina? On top of that, who you stopping over there? Latson about to track meet with Latson, track meet with Tessa Johnson, and Raven Johnson being the captain that she is. She just about to pick y'all apart. She about to pick y'all apart. Plus, look what you got coming off the bench. McKeer. McDaniel, you know what? I don't know if McDaniel is going to play today because she didn't play the last game. You got Alicia. You got bruh. What truly are we talking about? Let me see what's on the injury report. Okay, so it don't look like nobody injured today. Okay, so everybody healthy. Everybody going to be locked in. You know what I mean? So now let's talk top 25. Top 25. Top 25. So Alabama is in the top 25, right? Right. Let's go to Alabama top 25. Alabama's at the very bottom, top 25. So again, obviously, if they lose this game, they out. They lose this game, they out. Okay, we already know that. South Carolina is not going to lose this game, but if South Carolina lost this game, they would not move. They would not move. Why? We've seen Vanderbilt lose a game to Georgia, right? Georgia was ranked 21, or Georgia was not ranked at the time. Vanderbilt lost, kept that dub, kept that five spot. Georgia won, rose 4. They went up 4 slots in the rankings. The same would happen here with South Carolina. Now they're not going to lose, but if they were, they'd be right where they are. They ain't going to budge. Alabama lose though, they out of here. Same thing with Georgia. So again, the pressure is on the 24th and the 25th seeds tonight to get these dubs. They have to get these dubs. Do I think they're going to get these dubs? Georgia, yes. Alabama, no. So out the gate, what's your predictions for South Carolina and Alabama? Y'all already know mine. My boy Farrell said, I would love to see some of the role players of South Carolina score and really get involved in the offense. I would love to see Makira have a great game. If McDaniel come off the bench today, if she's playing and she's active today, I would love to see her have a great game. So yeah, if we get any significant contribution off the bench tonight, like you said, South Carolina by 20 plus at that. They need to lock down their best players and out rebound them and get to the foul line more than right. So South Carolina, let's talk about keys to the game, keys to win. Farrell said lock down their best players. Absolutely. So Timmons, Weathers, secure them. Okay, Timmons and Weathers, right? Secure them. Then you have to out rebound them. I don't think that's going to be an issue today. The only time that will be an issue with South Carolina for me is if there's moments where you feel like they just got lazy. But rebounding is a energy. It's a mental thing. It's an effort thing. And with Dawn Staley coach teams, effort is rarely an issue. She rarely has to coach get your head in the game. She rarely has to coach what are we doing here, right? So, I don't think rebounding is going to be an issue. I do think that they will be able to neutralize their best offensive threats with Alabama. And, I like you said, I think it's going to be a significant victory in the spread, in the point spread. 20 plus points sounds about accurate. In the Oklahoma and Georgia game, 7 to 9 points sounds about accurate. Single digits for sure in that game. So, Joyce Edwards going for 30 tonight. Joyce going for 30 because I don't think she liked what she looked like in the last jump, right? I don't think Joyce liked the fact that her shots weren't falling. I don't think that she liked that she wasn't getting the touches. Usually she didn't shoot. That wasn't her best, right? And Tessa carried them in the first half, and Raven kind of carried them in the second half, tightened up everything in the second half for the team, and was really their anchor on defense because the way she was pressuring the ball, and creating more possessions, with deflections and steals. I mean, damn, you do that tonight, it's gonna be a track meet. Plus, when you got Tanaya Latson out there, you know what I mean? And I feel like Tanaya, I don't want to say this ain't her best season, but statistically it's not her best season. And we all knew that was going to be the case because when you were the number one gunner in Florida State, wasn't she at Florida State? Whatever. When you was the number one gunner there, right? You ain't really had, you know what I mean? You scoring to be scoring for real. Now, you got to share the workload, right? And you don't need to put up 24 points a game. I would love if she did, right? But that's what Joyce Edwards is for. She has to be the main to carry the weight for South Carolina. And we always knew this season that it wasn't going to be Tanaya Johnson, Tanaya, because this is not her team. Or Latson, I'm sorry. So Joyce Edwards obviously is giving us incredible numbers in her sophomore year. She's the only other player outside of Asia that's averaged 20 points a game for Dawn Staley, right? So these are certain numbers. You're like, damn, only Asia? Yes, only Asia and Joyce Edwards. Also, she's the fastest to 1,000 points under Dawn Staley as well. Joyce Edwards is a problem. Tonight, she averages 20. Joyce getting 30 tonight. Oh, yeah. That's happening tonight. That is happening tonight. So at least that's what I want to happen. And here's why. Last time they played Alabama, Joyce Edwards had 25 points. 25 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 block. right? She shot 61% from the field, was perfect from the free throw line. Okay. That was when they were at home. When it was an away game, she had 20 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, right? She shot 58% from the field, and she was 1 for 3 from the 3-point line. So that's just showing you that she was able to get a little bit more touches in different spots, and that's on the road in Alabama. Well, the game is in Alabama again. Let's predict Joyce to get somewhere 25 plus this game. I'm going for 30. I think she's gonna have one of them nights. I would like for her to have one of them nights, but I really think she's gonna have one of them nights tonight. So I'm excited. I'm really excited about that game. Excited about what South Carolina could do. They're already a number 1 seed in the top 16, so it's not like that they can move any higher. You feel me? The only thing that can come from them in this win is that if UCLA or something like that loses, then they probably can move up to 2. But again, South Carolina got 2 losses and UCLA only got 1. So even if UCLA lost a game this week and South Carolina won both of their games, they have a game today and they're going to have a game Sunday. If South Carolina won both of those and UCLA splits, it still would mean UCLA is 26-2 or 27-2, and South Carolina is 27-2. They obviously by the end of the night, in my mind, they're going to be 26-2. Then they're going to play Sunday, and they're not losing. South Carolina's not losing for the rest of the year. Not on my watch. But that's just me. You know what I mean? That's just me. That's what I feel. So those are the first 2 critical SEC games tonight. Again, this is a Thursday SEC showdown. We also have, last but not least, at 9 o'clock on ESPN, LSU and Ole Miss. Now, this game matchup predictor is actually the closest matchup predictor than all of them. Okay, we have 79% ESPN analytics going for LSU and 20% for Ole Miss. Now here's what for me in my house. I don't like that. Hold on. Do y'all know what Connie McMahon just did in her last game? Y'all stick with me, kid. Y'all stick with me on Monday. Pull back up here on Monday at 6 o'clock. While y'all here, make sure y'all hit that like, hit that subscribe, get into the comments. Y'all know how I do. Pull back up here on Monday because every Monday when we do our breakdown, the last few episodes, I've been talking about our MVP, our player of the week, our MVP of the week. Y'all know what Cody McMahon just did on that last game she just played? Okay. When they played Tennessee this Tuesday night, right? Because the Tuesday, Tennessee and Ole Miss, they had the makeup game from the snowstorm in the end of January. Tuesday night versus Tennessee, she had 39 and 10. This pisses me off. 39 and 10. And not pisses me off in a bad way. She was cooking. She shot 55% from the field. Okay. Look, she got to tighten up on these free throws, y'all. Y'all know how I feel about freebies. Get them all, right? I need at least 85% from the free throw line, but okay. 39 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 55% from the field, 77% from the free throw line, 33% from the 3, right? Cody McMahon. So this is why I don't necessarily like this predictor. I think that Cody McMahon right now, the way she's playing individually, offensively and defensively, and the fact that she can do everything, score, rebound, assist, right? Get to the line, hit the 3, right? Get you in the post, play guard, play point guard, whatever you want, Cody can do it. When you have Cody playing like this at this high of a level, plus they got a center over here, Iwala, I think that's what her name is. They got a center over here, right here. Okay, look what she doing on the offensive glass. Almost 4 offensive rebounds a game, giving them 8 rebounds a game. I don't think LSU can man the paint the way they typically do. when you got people that stay in the paint and eating, right? LSU is a perimeter team. They love their guards. And because they don't really go through Michaela Williams enough, which is their best guard by far, it's not Flau'jae. In my opinion, humble opinion, when I watch these LSU games, I scratch my head and say, I don't know why this offense ain't being ran through Michaela. Michaela hits every big shot damn near. She didn't won games for them, right? She can do whatever. Again, on the offensive side on this team from a guard position, right? That being said, the X factors, Michaela on this end, Cody on this end. If I have to pick an edge based on what I've been seeing in recent games, Ole Miss versus Tennessee, LSU versus South Carolina, I got Ole Miss. That's me. I got Ole Miss. Why? Because I think they have a better coach. Now y'all argue with y'all mamas, but I think Coach Yo is I'm talking about way better coach than Mulkey. Mulkey just got the rings, and she done had the superstars that help her get the rings that make y'all think that she better than what she is. But in my mind, I got Coach Yo, and I think Coach Yo cooking up. I think Coach Yo gonna coach circles around Kim Mulkey. We gonna find out tonight. My money is all usually in the SEC when it comes to Coach Yo and Ole Miss. I just like how she runs her program and how she can maximize the strengths on her team. Again, coaches and point guards, it's always about maximizing strengths, mitigating weaknesses. You don't want to do something that's going to expose a limitation in one of your players. And Coach Yo does the opposite. She likes to say, okay, you are not the best 3-point shooter. Don't worry about that. I'm going to get you in some spots. I'm going to make the game a little bit easier for you. I'm going to try to get us in that transition. I'm going to try to get you in your comfort zones, right? Same, we see Dawn do it all the time. Meanwhile, on the flip side, Kim Mulkey, sometimes I think like she'd be like, you talented, you'll figure it out. You got game, you'll figure it. No, you the coach. You figure it out. You put me in a spot. Yeah, I can feel the game. I can, but that's your job, right? And so in tonight's game against LSU and Ole Miss at 9 p.m. on where ESPN, I got Ole Miss, y'all. I got two upsets tonight. Okay? Two of them. The first one, as we know, I have Georgia over Oklahoma. And the second upset that I have tonight is Ole Miss over LSU. Now, what happens what happens if Ole Miss beats LSU? Well, LSU was ranked 7. They dropped a seed. Michigan won a tough game against Michigan State. LSU they've been kind of slipping a little bit. Okay, so Ole Miss 17. They didn't won some, lost some, but they've been losing critical games, right? And just at inopportune times. But Ole Miss is a team that's fluctuated between 18 and 11 all season long, right? A win today against 7th ranked LSU might jump Ole Miss over Kentucky, Baylor, Maryland, and Iowa. Might even TCU. Again, the AP poll doesn't release until Monday afternoon. They still have Sunday games. So this win matters, but that next game matters as well. If you in the SEC, you got to be saying we can't lose no games. If you're in the top 15 in any part of the NCAA in the league, you got to be thinking with the framework, we can't lose any more games for the rest of the season. We're top 15. If you lose a game, unless it's to somebody right above you or right below you, you're going to drop significantly in the AP poll rankings. And that's what no team can afford, especially in that top 15. But that bottom 15 obviously is crucial. You lose one, you might be out, right? So Ole Miss has to win today. I got Ole Miss beating LSU. I think that just with the trajectory that Ole Miss is on, I think they could do it. I think they have a better defense. I think they have a better coach. And right now, I think they have the singular one better player on their team than on the team on LSU. Cody and Michaela. I'm taking Cody all day of the week, every day of the week. So you know what I mean? A lot of things can change. And again, Ole Miss, where they at? They in that top 16, right? They in that top 16. Now, a lot of people was a little perturbed that Ole Miss got a seating above Oklahoma, right? A lot of people, like me, I thought shit, Oklahoma would have been ranked higher than Ole Miss. But I bet you Ole Miss happy they not in that UConn bracket. Okay, y'all can have that. Okay, we gonna go, but see, Oklahoma said no. We need this dub because we need to move into a different bracket. Again, the last top 16 reveal before Selection Sunday is March 1st. That's gonna be a critical day, y'all. March 1st. Everybody gonna be tuned in on ESPN. I know they're gonna do it on some type of broadcast or something. I don't know where they do it. I'm gonna be there. Shout out to Passing Through Sports Talk Media. Welcome back. Welcome back. I got LSU beating Ole Miss. I don't know how much Sierra is going to play due to the injury from last game. She is huge for Ole Miss. I forgot about that key injury. Let me see if I can pull up the injury report. Let's see. Why they don't do the injury reports for college? I hate that. I mean, LSU is a better team. Like statistically, they're overall a much better team, right? And that's something that I can't argue with. There's nobody can argue with that, right? So we look at the team comparison, the team breakdown. You got LSU. Look how much points they scored. They scored 18 more points than Ole Miss, right? But on defensively, they give up the same amount of points. So for me, what does that mean to me? Whoever can oppose their will defensively. I mean, it sounds very matter of fact or very like obvious, like duh, Naj, whoever has the best defense. No, because you can be playing better defense than another team, but you can still shoot the lights out, right? LSU has that ability. They can just simply outscore you. They don't have to play a pretty game in the sense of we're doing everything correctly. No, they can play a messy looking game with high turnovers and still beat you just because simply you can't stop them from scoring because they have so many threats, right? Expect Flau'jae to have a bigger game. She didn't have the best game. She had some moments, but her missing them 2 free throws, she's gonna be hot about that. So expect her to have a big game. Malaysia, you never know with her, so I'm just gonna remove her from the table for now. But Michaela gotta have a good game. And also from the bigs perspective, what's old girl? Hold on. What's her name? Oh, Rashard gotta have a good game. Y'all know that. She didn't play that well the last game either. I like Bella Hines. Bella Hines has great defense. Yes. Joiner. Join her. Okay. Join her. You're gonna need to be adjoined over there to the Ole Miss galleys in that paint. You gotta dominate the paint. And LSU has to dominate the paint. And sometimes they play outside of paint too much, right? And then what happens then? Then they let people come into their paint and get what they want. Not today. Not if y'all want to win. Dominate the paint. Obviously, not just talk about, oh, let's outscore them. No. Dominate the paint offensively and defensively. Slow the game down a little bit. You don't have to per se. You can't outrun Ole Miss. You can play a run and gun style of basketball, a more fluid approach to your offense when you're playing Ole Miss. However, they're a gritty team. And people should assume that Ole Miss, they're going to be more physical in tonight's matchup probably than we've ever seen them before defensively. It's a lot to lose. Top 16. Lose this game, might be out the top 16. Forget losing a slot going from 15 to 16. Now you in that UConn bracket, you might be out altogether, right? And Ole Miss, rest assured, absolutely needs that home court advantage in March Madness in the tournament. Absolutely. Right, they're gonna need that home court advantage, which they probably won't have. But when they start talking about the SEC tournament, they're gonna need it then too. But again, they probably won't have it. But still, they gotta win this game. Matter of fact, let me look at Ole Miss's the rest of the schedule for this season. So Ole Miss has LSU tonight. Ole Miss has LSU tonight. South Carolina on Sunday again. Y'all know I know South Carolina. They not losing on no more game. So they got LSU tonight, South Carolina Sunday. Okay, they gotta win this tonight game because they can't go down two losses. They cannot go down 2 losses back to back at the end of the season when they in the thick of things, when they've already got that top 16 slot, when they already are in the top 25 in AP poll. They gotta run through the line. They gotta finish strong. So LSU, this game they have to win because more than likely they're not gonna beat South Carolina on Sunday. No, and it's at South Carolina. No, not happening. You can beat Florida. You can beat Texas A&M, right? You can beat those teams. But again, if Florida get into their bag, Florida can score too. So if Florida can put some points up on you, good luck. It might be a track meet. Meet you at the finish line. You feel me? So tonight is an absolute win for Ole Miss, even more so than it is a win for a needed win for LSU. I don't think LSU needs this game as much as Ole Miss. LSU want this game, but they don't need it as much. Okay. So the breakdown, the predictions. Who y'all got for tonight? I'm gonna pull these all these games back up again. We got Ole Miss and LSU tonight at 9:00. I got Ole Miss. I have Ole Miss. I'm talking about nail biter. It's gonna be like the South Carolina and in my mind, this is what I hope. I hope it's going to be like the South Carolina LSU game, where it's a couple points. You know what I'm saying? Some key plays at the end that decide the game, between missed free throws, between turnovers, between bad fouls, between big shots, big made shots. I want tonight's game to go like that. I think this is going to be a 5 or less point spread. It's probably going to be 2 or 3 points. If Ole Miss squeeze this win out, they're gonna have to barely do it. 3 points, maybe. End of the game, buzzer beater. That would be glorious for us basketball fans, just to see how that go down. But I think it's gonna be a single digit, under 5, probably 2 to 3 point victory for Ole Miss if they pull this win out. Because obviously, look at the matchup predictor. It don't look that great for Ole Miss. So games have already started tonight. We do have another 10:00 game, UCLA versus Washington. Washington was ranked. Washington had a nice little loss last week, so they dropped out of the top 25. But they are playing UCLA, ranked number 2, at 10 p.m. tonight on Big Ten Network. UCLA gonna win. So there's that. So you have tonight right now on the Boob Tube. Now we have Virginia Tech in North Carolina. Let me go ahead and put this up on the screen. I told y'all who I had winning this game. Who I said? Well, I said Virginia Tech. Because I did not like what I saw with North Carolina against Duke. I thought they completely blew 2 tires at the end of the game. And I just wasn't impressed. So that being said, I definitely have Virginia Tech today, like the score is suggesting right now. And that's good with my soul. That's who I got tonight in that game. The next game up obviously is on right now, Oklahoma and Georgia, which we predicted. Oklahoma is getting off to a phenomenal start. It's 7-0. That's on SEC Network. That's going to be a good game too. I'm actually about to peel on out of there so I can find that John. So I can watch that John. But I still have Georgia. Georgia has started off slow before, and it still end up going their way. They are a team, a tale of 2 halves. One half can look some way, and they can retool, tighten up, and be on your head top in the second half, right? So Actually, let's look at this. Let's look at this real quick. Let me see what's going on. Let's look and see what's going on here. Play by play. Let's see who on the court. We got. Okay. Off of 2. Okay, so it's a pretty even offensive contribution right now. Van has 2 points. Chavez has 1. Beers has 3. Williams has 2. I mean, collectively, what are they shooting? What, 60% from the field? I mean, so if it's starting out like this, then they get into the line too. Come on, Georgia. Come on, Georgia. Don't make me look bad. I picked Georgia today by 7 to 8. Georgia, don't make me look bad. Okay, Georgia. Don't make me look bad because I picked y'all. But again, I mean, a better team statistically, as far as record wise and as far as rankings, is Oklahoma. But when we broke down the schedule, we broke down wins and losses, who they lost to, how they lost. They're really on par. But Beers is the X factor for me. So right now it's looking like, is so far it's going in their favor. But it's 4 minutes in the game. So, anything can happen. Shout out to them. It's been Oh wait, what happened to my scores again? But yeah, it's been real so far this game. Then you have North Carolina and Virginia Tech again. North Carolina's 17 to Virginia Tech's 24. I got Virginia Tech this game. I'm a Hokies fan. Always gonna be a Hokies fan. Shout out to VT. I don't think North Carolina did that great against Duke. That being said, I got the Hokies. And then if y'all actually look at the record, they're 21-6. Hokies are 20-7. Their ACC records are, let's go down to it, are very close. Look, conference, they're 10-4. You have Virginia Tech 10-5. Right, Virginia Tech is a half a game back. One would think if Virginia Tech can sneak in this win, right, you still got to worry about NC State. It's surprised that Syracuse is as good as they are, but here's the thing: Virginia Tech can sneak in this win against North Carolina. Let me look at Virginia Tech's end of the season. Win against North Carolina. University of Virginia might be something, but I think you could beat Virginia Tech not pretty easily, because I don't want to disrespect them, but you can win these last 3, which means you would have won 5 in a row to close the season, which means you're going to put yourself in better graces when it comes to that March Madness bid. But before that ACC tourney, right? That tournament. And as we look at the ACC and where the galleys are all kind of bunched up, go back. It's pretty darn close in the ACC, right? Nobody outside of Duke and Louisville, they just had their slugger fest, right, where they had to figure out who's going to walk away from this thing being undefeated. It can get real in the ACC tournament. So, that's where we at, y'all. That's where we at. It's been a hell of a breakdown show. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all pulling up and rocking with me on this random Thursday. What up, Miss D? What up, Miss D? Welcome back, y'all. You already know what time it is, Miss D. Man, we went live about an hour ago randomly. You feel me? I think, like she said, I think the ACC is wide open. I think the SEC, the clear dominant force in the SEC is South Carolina. That doesn't mean that they're invincible, but to me, I think that they're the best clear team in the SEC. We already know who's the best team in the Big East. We know the Big Ten has a significant threat in UCLA, but I don't think UCLA is just walking through the Big Ten. They got to fight through the Big Ten, just like South Carolina got to fight through the SEC. But it's Dawn. He is Dawn. What are we doing? Why would I say no? No, it's Dawn. So yes, definitely, if you just pulling up, appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like on your way in, on the way out. And check the replay. You know what I'm saying? Let me know how you feeling. Let me know what the predictions are. We got games live, but the real games tonight, the SEC games tonight that we really broke down and we really covered, they don't start till 7:30, right? Oh, 8:30. I'm sorry. You got South Carolina and Alabama at 8:30. Then you have LSU and Ole Miss at 9. Those are the games that we want to focus on. Those are the games that mean a lot for the top 25. And definitely, those are the games that mean a hell of a lot for that top 16. So, shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Happy Basketball Thursday. Everybody be real, be trill, be safe. Hold on. Stanford let me down. They had so much potential to make noise this year. It's the coach. When you ain't got Tara, the buttons that she can press, she can manipulate and work with any team, and any team could be a threat. But when you ain't got Tara Vanderveer, you know what I mean? It might not go as far as you want it to go. I love Stanford though. They got some icons that then graduated from Stanford and also made waves in history in the WNBA, right? Stanford don't get enough love when it comes to what basketball organizations, right? And legendary her stories we recognize. We always say UConn, right? We're talking about South Carolina. We always talk about Pat Summitt, but Tara Vanderveer and Stanford, they never really get the same attention, right? And so that's unfortunate, but that's okay because shout out to her. I'm sure she's having a great retirement. Boy, can't wait till I retire from something because shit, I'm trying to go. I'm trying to go. Stanford is a women's powerhouse. Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, I definitely appreciate y'all for pulling up tonight on this random Thursday. Y'all know we do this every Monday at 6 p.m. right here on Beyond the Lens TV. Y'all know where to find us. If you don't, just go ahead and hit that follow, hit that subscribe right now. So when we go live, you get the notification, and then you're always in the know on women's basketball. I appreciate y'all. Guess what? I'm gonna do a live tomorrow too. It's Friday. What else I got to do? It's the weekend, baby. So I'm gonna do a live tomorrow too. Did I talk about Flau'jae's mom? No, what happened to her mama? What's going on with her mama? Hold on. Oh wait. I just Googled. Hold on. Oh wait. Flau'jae's mom goes on a bizarre rant after LSU lost. My daughter is beating them in real life. Oh wow. Is that what she said? Hold the phone. Hold on. Before I get up out of here, we gotta talk about this. Hold the phone. Share screen. And I ain't even vet this who these people are, this little resource. I just clicked the first thing I saw. So she said she's talking crazy about South Carolina and she don't need the WNBA. See, that's the thing. Okay, so hold on. That's the thing about this new era in basketball, and a lot of the ladies here. I love the fact that y'all have brands. I love the fact that y'all are multi-skilled. I love the fact that y'all are diverse. I love the fact that y'all are fearless, that y'all don't mind getting into other avenues and creating the space and the lane and creating generational wealth, creating different streams of income, putting your face out there. I love that. That's smart. That's marketing. That's branding. That's securing your longevity. However, here's the difference. Here's the difference between me and a bunch of other fans. Baby, if it wasn't for basketball, I wouldn't know you and or give a I only know you and or give a because you bounce the ball and you do it at a high level. You can make music, you can model, you can do all of those things, and all of those things are good. But if you become bad at basketball, I'm not saying, you know what, all of a sudden she can't shoot nothing, she can't do nothing, but she make great music. I wouldn't care nothing about that music if you are no longer playing basketball. And truth be told, I don't listen to it now. That's the truth. Cause And I love you for it in all the great endeavors. Shit, if you want to be a chef tomorrow, fuck it, come on, get to cook it up. But if you ain't about that basketball, and if this ain't your main thing, that's what the people here for. That's what we're attracted to you from or by. It's through basketball. Hold on, let's get to this comment. Not the comment. We have never beat South Carolina. Cool, but Flau'jae is beating South Carolina in real life. The goal is to go to the WNBA and get a bag. Even in basketball, she is beating the Gamecocks on the floor. Look at the stats. Let's keep it real. No South Carolina player is ever going before Flau'jae in the draft. South Carolina didn't beat Flau'jae. South Carolina beat LSU. What? Why is your panties in a bunch? And didn't that be the thing about parents? First of all, I love the fact that my mama didn't come to many of my games growing up. Because you know why? My mama one of them ones. If she ain't like the way my coach was doing, she would have pulled up on the coach in the middle. Hey, girl, hey, don't talk to my daughter like that. Right? Hey, don't yell at my daughter. That's what mamas do, especially ones that's really protective over their little cubs, right? But in this sense, would you said that, Miss Brooks? Had you said that if she made the free throws, cool. If Flau'jae made the free throws, cool. But your daughter, that's what your daughter did. Now, the highest level I ever played on, I ain't never missed no free throws at the end of the game. Let me tell y'all a story. I played a game where 3 of my five-star, where all 4 of my starters, excluding me, fouled out the game. And my team, me and my bench players went into overtime. I went into overtime with a bunch of people. I said, oh my God, I'm going to have to take over this game. What I'm going to do, Naj? I'm going to get to the basket. Every single time I put my head down and drove to the basket. We're going to have to slow this thing down, and I'm going to have to foul y'all out, and I'm going to have to get these things on the line because I got to physically carry my team for the remainder. She said, if you don't like her, she said, if you don't like her, you don't like. It's a video of it? Hold on. Where's this video? Hold on. Where did she do this at? Hold on. What the hell?
Real life.
Can y'all hear this audio?
Okay? And no disrespect to them girls, no disrespect to Dawn. We beating them in real life. The whole goal is to go to the WNBA and get you a bag, right? Get you a bag and provide for your family, right? Flau'jae has already done that. She's already done that. Flau'jae don't even have to go to the league. She is set for life. Her mama set her up for life.
Baby, you ain't set her up. She did
Let's
it.
go back.
You assisted.
We talking about basketball.
Hold on, baby. You assisted. You got the mind, right? You probably put the situation together. Shout out to you. Shout out to good parenting. Shout out to good leadership. Oh, I'll make sure my daughter don't get hosed. I'm over here. But look though, she did that. That's her talent. That's her skill set. You can't take the credit for what she did on the court, what she did in the booth. You can't take the credit for that. All you can say, shout out. See, but what you shouldn't be doing is putting your foot in your mouth like this. All right.
Even in basketball, she is beating them on the floor. Y'all could go look at the stats. She beat every player on the floor that game. Let's keep it real. No South Carolina player is going before Flau'jae in the draft.
Baby, if Lesson played her entire career with South Carolina, she would be going before your daughter in the draft. But she didn't. She's a transfer in. If she had the same amount of output that she did in Florida State, she would be going before her, but she didn't. She took a smaller, reduced role for what? The bigger goal. And let's be real clear about the LSU Tigers. Let me tell you something. Y'all better thank Angel Reese in that transfer, because y'all wouldn't have got no championship without that young lady. Not without Flaw. Why do I keep saying that? Who's the number one hitter guard on this team is Michaela Wood. See, that's why y'all ain't gonna win. That's why y'all ain't gonna win no championships. Never no more. That's why y'all ain't gonna be no SEC championship. Never no more. Y'all ain't humble enough. And you take this energy, because this the same energy your coach got. And we know Kim Mulkey got that energy. We know she got that energy. And just like you said, yes, Tessa and Rava played better. They did. They played better. And I love Flau'jae's game, right? Sometimes she could be a shell of herself in games. But if this how your mama, you gotta, y'all remember when LeBron's mama was at the sideline talking shit in the Cavs game, and LeBron turned over and said, shut the sometimes you gotta say, hey ma, you're not helping me here. I'm gonna need you to issue an apology. I'm gonna need you mama shouldn't have social media. This just is what it is. Once your child become superstar, celebrity, or on the fringe, mama, you gotta park it, baby. You gotta park it, because you're gonna make me. And women don't have the same amount of grace as men athletes. Oh no, baby. Oh no, baby. You can't be a woman like Ja Morant, that you always in stuff. And no, you got to be damn near exceptional to be a woman athlete at a high level and continue to get the brand endorsements that you do. If they think that you become a difficult black woman, a hard black woman, a overly strong black woman, some business deals and transactions, count your blessings while you got them. Okay, let's go.
And that's no disrespect. So South Carolina didn't beat Flau'jae. South Carolina beat LSU. Okay, let's keep it real. What South Carolina player this year is a lottery pick.
Why would she say this?
No disrespect. I'm just being real. Yes, we have not beaten South Carolina yet. They play together. They are really seasoned. They have bought in to what Dawn's system or whatever else is.
She got to be quiet.
And guess
for
what?
Sure.
Congratulations to them. But what I set up for my daughter is to win in real life. My daughter is beating them in real life.
I just can't. But I am flabbergasted. I can't believe she said that. And y'all ain't even got to the tournament yet. You know how much smoke you just put on your daughter's back? Mama, do you know how much smoke you just put on LSU? You know that? And it ain't just going to be coming from South Carolina. Ole Miss saying, hold on. You think your daughter, we about to shut her down. We about to shut your daughter down. And guess what? LSU can win this game. Flau'jae ain't doing shit, though. And it's not because I don't want, who don't love Flau'jae? But mama, you going to create haters where there were none. You going to create enemies and ops where they were none. Most of us don't like Kim Mulkey. We ain't got no problem with LSU and the players. We love the players. We love the guards. We love the synergy. We love the camaraderie. We love the energy. It's all the E's, right? We love all of that. We don't love this mommy nonsense. I cannot believe Ms. D and almost got up out of this episode and didn't even know that, because I don't be really on social media. I'm actually not on social media at all. I got pages. I don't be on there. I only be on YouTube. I watch sports. I keep the noise in my life down to a minimum, down to only what I need to see. That I needed to see. So shout out to you. I appreciate you bringing that up. I had no idea she was cooking up like that with the mouth parts. Boy, I tell you. Hold on, they got somebody out here.
Remember the first video on the internet? or the 6-second beauty of vines.
Hold on, it gave me an ad.
Like clockwork, every single year, Flau'jae's mom is either in or starting some drama. This gotta be the worst one of all, though, because she's upset at a few South Carolina fans. So she's gonna go on live and talk about the South Carolina team? Like, I'm still scratching my head over that. The South Carolina players, parents, and coaches are so unproblematic. They stay completely out of drama. I just don't understand what was the purpose of this. But since we're here, let's talk about it. Let's listen to some of the things she said, and let's go over her problematic history.
We have they play together. They
No, I just want to hear what you guys say.
We don't want to see homeowners falling through their.
I'm out. Yeah, I don't want my Mystics to draft her now. Don't want that energy around the organization. See, Mama Dearest? See, Mommy Dearest? You see what you just did? Shout out to Passing Through the Sports Talk Media. You see what you just did? You done created ops where there were none, baby. There were no ops. We wanted her to go as high as we... Oh, God. You know she ain't innocent. You know if her mama talking like that, you know she's actually the voice piece. She's being a voice piece for Flaw. She probably is saying that, hey, I need they ain't stepped up the way I need them to step up. I'm used to rolling with somebody that got the same type of gumption as me, and maybe I don't think, you know, they got the same. Wait a minute. This ain't the full video? What the hell? Full video. What? Is she talked more than that? How long did she talk? We just watched 3 minutes of it together. She read longer than that? Y'all, I'm gonna have to watch the full video, man. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for you know, hopping me in or reeling me in and linking me in on that, man. Shout out to Miss D. Shout out to Passing Through the Sports Talk Media. Shout out to Pharaoh. Shout out to everybody that pulled up and watched and tuned in, whether you got active in the chat or not. I do appreciate all activity, all engagements across this channel. This is For Your Lens, okay? Powered by For Your Lens, the realest, illest lifestyle brand. That's empowering dope people like you to do all dope things with purpose and intention. So I appreciate y'all for pulling up. We're going to do this again tomorrow night because apparently it's some drama in the LBC we need to talk about. I don't know. It's some drama out here and you know, and I really don't do no drama on this page for real. I keep it basketball, but a little bit of basketball drama is healthy for the soul. So appreciate y'all. While y'all here, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe on the way out, and definitely leave a comment on your way in or on your way out. I appreciate y'all. Everybody be blessed. Have a great night. Peace and free.